How's it going, you lot? What a bloody lovely day it is. Again, I know I say it in every video, but I just get amazed, you know what I mean? I'm doing a little review. It's like an unboxing, first look. I've done another charger, didn't I? This one is the little brother to the V6 Pro. This is the, I don't know what it's called, the V6 Duo, that's it. Slightly smaller, 400 watt charger. Got 2 batteries on charge at the moment, but I'm in the middle of doing a little bit of a review for it. Just testing it, taking it out of the box. Obviously, what I normally do is do like an initial sort of unboxing, first look, a little bit of a review, give it a little test, use it a little bit, and then I use things for like 3, 4, 5 months or however long, and then I come back and do like a more in-depth review with opinions and what's broken, is it still alright, has anything happened to it, etc, etc. So that's how that is at the moment. And because I haven't got a charger for this Bofang UV5R Plus, I've been using this to listen to the old ship radios while I've been at work, because I'm working right in the middle of a port and there's ships and containers and all sorts going in and out, and it's great. So I put this on the old channel 68 and 69, which is the channels, VHF channel that they use, and just listen all day long to the old ship radios. It's great fun to listen to. But I haven't got a charger for this radio, so I charge it up with my old RC charger. Just put it on lithium ion. I haven't got the balancing cable linked up though, so the middle one is to balance the battery, because obviously there's more than one cell in there. It's 7.4 volts, so I'm not balancing it, which is not good for the battery. It needs to be balanced really, but what can I do about it? I can't do anything with it, but at least I can charge it up using that. And yeah, cracking radio really. Love the Bofang radios. Cheap, slightly nasty, but very cheerful. You know, speaker's not very good, but yeah, cracking, man. So I'm just chilling out. I want to know in the comments, where in the world are you, and what are you doing? What time of day is it? Do you know what I mean? I'd love to hear from all of you. I love to hear where you are in the world, what is it like, what time of the day it is. It's just fascinating to know that little old me standing here doing this, talking to you, and you're like probably in the other side of the world. It's amazing, absolutely stunning. I'll tell you what, not overall, but my opinion so far on this thing is great. It's got some proper weight to it. Anyway, you don't want to hear me rambling on about a blooming battery charger. If you want to know about it, I'll put a link somewhere in the description on this video or something like that, maybe a little card thing up there, so you can watch the video where I actually talk about it in depth. But I'll tell you what, if you're into RC and you want a battery charger, either this one or the V6 Pro, cracking chargers so far. I'll tell you that right now. Ever think, right, I've talked about this before, about if you could take certain aspects from the past, like not the past in your life. Oh no, not talking about the past in your life. I'm talking about the past in general. Bringing them certain aspects to the modern day life to replace, got a bit of paper stuck over my fingers, to replace aspects of modern day life. For example, I think I would bring probably old, sort of, not old, but I'd probably bring cars from the 80s and 90s into modern day life. So all the cars around are from 80s and 90s, but obviously not old now. They wouldn't be old now, they would be new. Does that make any sense? So the cars being made now would be the cars that were being made in the 80s and 90s. And I think styles, I would bring styles into modern day, 80s and 90s styles. There might be some of you lot that are older than me that were, you know, around in the 50s, 60s and 70s, and you might want, because I wasn't around in the 80s, but I was around in the 90s, and I was old enough throughout the 90s. I lived through the whole 90s, obviously. and I'm old enough. I was old enough to remember how things were, and I like things from that sort of period. So I think I would go from, I'd bring things from then. Maybe you would want to bring things from the 70s and 60s. I don't know, to modern life, styles and whatnot else. I like the 60s and 70s style of things. Maybe a little bit of a mixture I'd bring, you know. But I would keep some things of the modern day, like, you know, the fact that, at least in this country, there's no power cuts. Because in the 70s, 60s, 80s, and sometimes in the 90s, I can remember growing up as a kid, we had power cuts sometimes. Fairly often, actually, we had power cuts. I remember my dad running around going, he was opening up the old the fuse box, going, nope, it's not just us, it must be the whole street. And look outside, everything's off. These days, in this country where I live, we don't get power cuts. In fact, probably haven't had a power cut in the last more than 5 years, you know. So the electric is very reliable. Everything's reliable. I think I would bring, now this might be controversial because some people disagree, and some people say, well, things weren't all that rosy in the 80s and 90s and in the past, and things are better now. But I don't know, I suppose I disagree to some extent. I would bring the prices of stuff from that time into the modern day. But I would keep medical care and all that kind of stuff of the modern day, because that's obviously progressed and that's obviously better. But I'd bring prices back. Things will cost what they did back then. Definitely, 100%. Houses. Over there, look, houses. They are far too expensive now. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds, man. You know, back then you could buy a nice house for 20 grand. Yeah. I know it's all to do with inflation and all other bollocks that comes along, but I'd bring that back. But I would, now this is really, you know, this is going to be a life of riding now, but I would bring the wages. I'd leave the wages of today. Yeah. I mean, everyone's going to be living like millionaires in my life, in my ideal world, because the wages of today and the prices of 30, 40 years ago would be mad. I mean, if you're disciplined and you can save, you could have yourself a couple of houses in probably 10 years. Save yourself up 50, 60 grand. Which you would be able to do quite easily, because the prices would be what they were 40 years ago. Shopping and all that kind of stuff would be 40 years ago. But you'd be earning what you earn today. Save yourself 60 grand. Buy a couple of houses. We'd all be living like kings and queens. You know what I mean? But that's what I would do. I want to know in the comments. And I have talked about it before. So this is slightly a repeat, but I've changed it slightly. But I want to know, what would you bring back from the past? Whatever era you were born in, you might be, I know there's a few people on here that watch this that are 50s, 60s, I think there's a couple of 70-year-olds. What would you bring back from your era? I know a lot of you, it's surprising how many older people that are in 70s and 80s or 60s, 70s, 80s that love all modern life. They're like, today is brilliant. The modern life is great compared to when I grew up, they say. I know people like it. I work with people like it. You know. No, it was rubbish in the 80s. It was rubbish in the 90s. It was rubbish in the 70s. Now is much better. I like it now. But everyone is different. So I want to know in the comments. You tell me. What would you bring back, if you would bring back anything? What would you mix up? And I want to know all about it. And I'm going to carry on now, and I'm going to go to work. And I'm going to read these comments in a couple of days' time and see what you all say. Because, I don't know, maybe, it's funny, innit? People, me especially, think back and look back on pictures from my life and just from the past in general, and think, why can't it be like that now? I miss them times, you know. I look back at pictures and videos from my life years and years ago and think that was much better. The world, the city where I live, everything was better back then. I want to go back to that time. Why is that, I wonder? You know, nostalgia. Is it because humans just have a tendency to want the past? I don't know, but I think it's mad and I love thinking about it. So again, comments please. What would you bring back from the past, bring it to the future? You know, would you just want to go back in time completely, or would you want to mix and match bits and bobs? And I've talked about it before, so it is a bit of a repeat, but I'm just really interested in it. I want to know what you lot say. I'll see you lot later on. Have a lovely day. It's a Friday today. Enjoy yourselves. It won't be a Friday when you watch this though. And yeah, I'm going to see what you all say. Cheerio lot, all the best.